hey, I just wanted to make this video for you to keep you informed and up to date on our massive progress and our huge vision and our aspirations as we transform from a brand that we're known as now to one of the most prestigious luxury brands in the watchmaking world. And I want to make this video for you because I think it's important to share what you're part of and to also keep you informed and up to date with some of the things that we're doing that might not be visible from a public eye. So I trust that you don't share this with anyone, and you treat this as an insight, unfiltered experience of the brand as we build and grow to where we're going. Some of the things I want to talk about today are things that I haven't really talked about much in the past, which is what does it take to actually transform this company into what it's becoming, to transcend time, to transcend past what I can do, what the team can do, and for it to go on through time as an entity outside of the people behind the brand. And I think that's what is my biggest focus at the moment, to build the core foundation so it's able to transcend time. It's able to go much further than what I can do or what anyone else on the team can do for the brand. So that's, there's a lot of interesting things that we're working on when it comes to building that foundation. And the other thing is to talk about some of the new products that we've been working on. I've got some prototypes here I want to show you and take you through, and also some and then the final thing is our collaborations, which are going to cement us in society and culture and set the pace for what's to come from here. So on the first part, I think it's obvious that right now we're living in an age where there's been a massive technological leap. Like, for example, if we look back at the time when internet was invented and also mobile phones, as we know them today, this time that we're in right now, this year, is the year of essentially of AI and how that will impact us and our day-to-day experience in terms of business and beyond. And what's really interesting is that some of the things that we've been working on before AI, for example, logical thinking processes, structured systemizing, and building and solving problems from a more of a structured approach rather than a personal opinion approach. I've essentially created a logical thinking process, a mapping process that is very strict and rigid. It's almost like if you guys have played, if you've played Sudoku, like the game, right? The purpose of that game is not to guess where the numbers go, but to derive the right solution in the right area. And basically through the experience that we've had and that I've had launching several businesses, because Aventi is not the only one. There's quite a few of little projects that I've been building and businesses that are running. And what I've noticed is that it's almost like cross-pollination, where something that you do here applies to there, something that you do there applies to here, and you're building this, this map and this picture of this world, right? What's really interesting is that through understanding this, I've kind of derived a certain logic that gives us the right answers of what to do, that's logical, and I can explain that later. But I know this sounds like very ambiguous and vague, but there's definitely a way to work out what number goes into which box, right? When you have the purpose of solving the grids. And if you haven't played Sudoku, you should try it. So the point of this logical thinking process is to be able to know what to do in the right way without having to structure meetings and discussions with the team and proposing ideas, things like that. It's a different way of building business that it is correct. Like the results that we're producing, stand for themselves, right? Because there's no other brand in the last 3 years that we've been existing that has come close to our progress at all, that period. In fact, I doubt many other brands have done this essentially without any external and significant investment as well. So there is a method to this, what we're producing, and there is a system to it. Now, my point of going through that is, I can share that with you if you're interested, because it's very powerful for business too. But the point that I'm making here is to show where Aventi is going with this and why AI is so important. Because with this logical, structured model to solve problems in business, we are utilizing our own AI that we're developing, right, to solve these incredibly complex problems, to systemize, to be able to tell us what to do in the same way that we use this Sudoku logical thinking process to this mapping system to derive the answers, which is a manual thinking process to go through. The AI that we've developed does it instantly. So our speed right now is exponentially faster with an incredibly small team. So as a brand, as a business, where we're heading now with this technology is unprecedented. I don't know where we'll be in 1 year because of how fast we're moving now with all this structure. With that being said, we have a lot of catching up to do with the established brands in the market, because they have these structured systems and processes that already exist that work, right? And we're coming from not having anything, not having any experience in it, to building them. But we're building them so they can be transformed and progress using AI now and in the future. So, and as an example, there is something that you can check now that we've built, utilizing some of this technology and some of these concepts in a neat little business. Something that I wanted to do to help other people with emotional problems. So by the same token, this logic can resolve complex business situations, which can be, I'm sure, as your experience with business may be in a certain stage where you'd say, well, no, AI can't do those things. They can't figure out those things. Try what we've built. It's called Alfred Penny, AlfredPenny.com. And that we built to solve incredibly complex emotional problems. And that can be dealing with a partner, it can be dealing with work, it can be dealing with fitness and health, or beyond that. And the way that we've structured this AI is very different to what exists at the moment. And we've built it in a user-friendly way that you can experience it for yourself. So that's just a small demonstration of the things that we're working on, just to show that what I'm saying is, I'm not in a position to share it with you because it's kind of proprietary, but I can show you like a sneak peek and a sample of something that's working and that you can access. So you can have a look at that. So yeah, I guess the video, it's quite a serious video that I'm making for you, and I think it's important mainly because I want you to know what you're part of, what you've invested in, and to be excited, because we are doing what no other brand is doing in our industry, for sure. And I want you to be part of that. I want you to see that and see the transformation as where we've come from and to where we're going. So the AI component is phenomenal. I can give specific examples. We've built a module. So the way that we build it is with modules that solve certain, that serve certain purposes that are specific to our needs. And the way that we've structured it, we're able to provide go through the process that we've built for it and one part of that process is to provide a list of symptoms that we're facing. It can be like, this is late, or this this is inaccurate, or this, this isn't performing as well, or, for example, just basic symptoms. From that, we are able to instantly derive the core problems, and from that, we're able to identify what we need to put into place to solve them, as in to solve that with a system or a process that's missing, for example. And we are able then to see the steps to take to build that process, and we are able to allocate resources, staff, people, budget, whatever is required in that same tool to actually facilitate the building of that missing system and process, whilst we simultaneously deal with the situation at hand in terms of fixing that problem in the meantime. Anyway, so enough of that heavy talk, but I just wanted to give you a specific example so you can understand. So yeah, that's that kind of recaps that first part of this conversation with you, to show why we are going to be number one in what we do, because we are heavily investing in the foundation of our future, and being so fast and so far ahead of anyone else that we don't rely on people in that sense. We have the solutions rather than trying to find the answers, if that makes sense. So hopefully that makes sense to you. But I should move into what you're probably wondering, what's on my wrist. So let me get to that. So I'm moving on to more interesting topics. This I have on my wrist. I'm going to tell you a bit about. This is a prototype. This is not complete. This is not perfect, right? That's the first thing to be aware. Like, there are problems with this. There are issues that don't meet the standard that we are at. But I wanted to show you something that we've been working on for quite a while, and building up the resources and the experience in. So this is called the Trinity, and this is our version of what is in the market that you could call like the rainbow bezel pieces. So first of all, the Trinity is a piece that features essentially three types of gems, right? You got rubies, emeralds, and sapphires, right? And the vision behind this is that I wanted to do a different type of gradient, a different kind of setting, a different kind of impact, that when you see this watch, that this is unlike we're not copying anyone else. We're not following a trend in that sense. We are taking inspiration from what people desire, and we're putting our own spin on it, and we're creating something extremely exclusive, extremely special, and something that you will not see in any other brand. Now, I just want to say that there will be changes to this, and one of them is the dial. The dial will be faceted. So we have developed our nano machine, the Optimus Nano, and more information will come publicly on that in a few months. But that machine is completely revolutionary, and it allows us to do things that weren't possible to do before, like the dragon sculpture, which I'll just show you, which is just next to me right now, and I'll show you that in a moment. But this piece is absolutely breathtaking because of the way that it captures the light. Each of the gems are individually free to speak for themselves, rather than being bunched up in this invisible set pattern, which is what every other brand does. Yeah. So we wanted to do something that steps away from the norm and improves it. And in that sense, that when you're wearing gems, you want the light to capture it. You want it to sparkle and shine, and that this is far more brilliant than any other rainbow set piece that I've come across. And I'm really excited to perfect this. And as I said before, this is a prototype. It is solid rose gold. It is quite heavy, but still comfortable with the crocodile strap. The buckle is also solid rose gold. And in the band you have solid rose gold logo marker. This is a crazy piece. It's absolutely It's absolutely insane. The hands, we I wanted to get this piece done quickly, and we're creating hands, and we're experimenting with hands, and we just had a crazy idea. I said, look, I need to get this piece for this video. I really want to do this video, right? So can we just speed it up? Like, what can we do? And so we found a way to actually coat our sapphire hands that we already have in this incredibly, it's like a royal metallic blue color. And part of me just wants to do that for the final piece, because they look ridiculous, and the way that the sun, the light captures and reflects on them is it's amazing. I was very surprised how it turned out. But usually you do like watchmakers brass hands, but we may just stick to this, and that can be like an Easter egg. Like, you don't realize it's sapphire hands, but because you've covered the sapphire, it kind of doesn't make sense. And if we do blue sapphire, it doesn't have that richness and reflection that we want, that what we got here. So that's something to decide. So maybe you can let me know what you think as well. But yeah, solid gold crown. It's ridiculous, when I received this, it was insane. So I'm very excited about this. I do. I realized I have to mention that our original. So some clients actually have secured their allocations of this piece, and are very lucky to be the first in the world to be getting it. And when we estimated the price as we were making it, we had a different design. It was slightly different, but we've made considerable improvements to it, and as a result we have to do a price increase on this piece, and it's a very significant price increase. And I think it's only fair to use this video to tell you that you have an opportunity to secure the allocation for this piece at the original price, because I don't think it would be fair to not include all of our family members in this. And if that's something that you'd like to know more, just message me or your concierge, and we can tell you more details about that. And speaking of which, we are going to do an entire range increase and price increase, just to keep in line with the standard that we are increasing every year, a small amount. Some pieces might be more than others, but that's just the standard procedures that we have, just to keep as a system, so we keep in line with rising costs. And so but also, if you have purchased in the past, that means that your piece is now more valuable, right? So I guess it works out as well. Anyway, I just have to keep an eye on the time, otherwise I have a habit of talking too much. So I'm going to show you this. This is a material that we invented. It's called forged gold carbon, and it is carbon fused. It's like with gold, like molten carbon fused with gold, 24 karat gold. And so you see all the gold inside this case, and there's not one person that I've showed this that hasn't instantly fallen in love with this. It is one of the most beautiful blends of technology and almost like an ageless luxury gold, right? There's nothing you can say against this piece, this case, and we're creating a very special thing for this. We're developing a new movement, and that new movement will be a solid gold movement. We are yet to confirm the details, but it is in production right now, and that movement is essentially our base tourbillon with a new take, right? And it's a flying tourbillon, so there's no bridges, and it's a solid gold, no bridges on tourbillon, and solid gold plates. So it's essentially a solid gold movement, and it kind of signifies our step into the next level, the next realm of the brand, and in terms of precious metals being used and high technology. So we're using our nano machine, Optimus Nano, to do a level of finishing on that movement that is not possible with traditional watchmaking. Even with modern machinery for watchmaking now, they can't do what we can do with that. So yeah, this is a very, I just wanted to show you this material because I think it's absolutely insane, and I can't wait to show you the final piece when we complete it. But yeah, it's just a little update for you. We have an updated version. My equipment here is not even able to show you the details. I actually need a microscope to show you the details of this. So this is the Dragon. I just wanted to show you this again. This is using Optimus Nano machine. Every single scale is hand done. This is a lot of work, but still, we're still improving this. There's some changes that we need to make, some different concepts that we need to bring into this, but I think we're almost there with this piece. And when I show you this piece, when we get it to that final stage, it's going to be phenomenal. So this Dragon is one of a kind. It is hand done, mixed with the highest level of technology. So it has the artisan feel, but also the Aventi technology behind it. So I also wanted to show you just an update of where we're at with this and where we're going with that. But I think this is the final innovation I just want to show you. Okay, so this is probably the most magical thing that we have ever created. This is, it's like, I've shown people, and honestly, every single person has been lost for words, comparing us to other brands and making statements that they have nothing, absolutely nothing that can compete with this. This has taken extremely long to make. This color, this version, the material is unlike any other gem I've seen. I collect opals, and I love opals. And ever since I really got into opals, I always wanted to do something with watches, and this is the result. Like, this is a dream. This is something that no other brand, I don't think, has even thought of doing. It's taken us an extremely long time even to get it to this level, and I wanted to show you something today that is perfect in my opinion. and a lot of other people do say the same. This is extremely difficult to make, and we have invested a lot of R&D into this, and I mean, I can't even speak, to be honest. Like, this is one of the best pieces that we've ever made, and I didn't want to wear it, but normally I wear this, right? So I'm struggling to think. You can't believe it until you see it with your own eyes, and I'll do my best to, obviously as you're watching this, you're probably looking at that footage of it. I think that, this is magic. I mentioned someone, I was like, are you ready to see the entire universe? And then I sent some videos and photos of this watch. So I'm so happy with this, and I think that this really represents Aventi in a sense that we have something that no one else has. We have developed the technology to create this, and we've taken care of every tiny detail. The dial itself is completely covered in superluminova. The hands are sapphire hands. It glows very bright. You know, say you're walking outside and you walk into a cafe, it just glows, you know. The way that the light catches on the case, from a distance it's quite interesting, but then when you go, you know, you look at it and you look closer, you just get drawn into it. And no matter, you know, what day it is or where you are, every single day it will feel different. And that's the magic of opals, right? You never, you're always learning, and you're always like experiencing and seeing it shine in different ways. And I think that's the magic of this piece. Our opal is called Opalite, and so it is created like us, based off of the natural material in a similar sense, in the same way. Obviously not taking millions of years. With us, you know, it takes us, you know, a significant amount of time. And the availability of this material, because it's so difficult to make, it's very, very difficult and takes a long time. So we don't have many of these pieces available, and as a result, the price point for this is significantly higher than anything else that we've produced. And I think that's fair for us as a brand to establish ourselves as a serious player in the market. And on that note, I want to share with you some very special news. We are doing essentially our first A-lister partnership. We have had some clients. Obviously, we've got a lot of clients that are of a very high level, and I'd like to share some of those names with you, but I prefer not to, out of respect. In a public setting like this, I asked you not to share this video. I am not a fool and an idiot, and I know I can't control that, right? So as a result, I do have to hold back on certain things, but in this case, there are some things that I'd like to share that I think is okay to share. We want to work with people that represent the brand and in a way of the core essence, right? And in terms of tennis, there's not many players that I feel fit the brand as well as a fellow Aussie like Nick Kyrgios, and we're very lucky to essentially welcome him to the family as well. And he's someone who's definitely controversial, and that's, you know, we are too. I think that there's a level of respect for the game that he has, and sometimes it's taken out of proportion, obviously. And you know, I think with us, we've been very careful, but also we've had a lot of, you know, a lot of people try to prevent our success as well, right? And I think in terms of natural talent and ability, there's not many other players in the world like Nick to perform at that high level. And it's the same, I guess, with us in that sense that we are pushing what we are capable of, and we are approaching it in a different way. So I think as a partnership goes, I think that's pretty cool. And you know, for us to be able to have this opportunity, it really brings us out into pushing more into the mainstream market, because at the moment we're very focused in the watch industry and earning our respect, and that's what the focus has been on. And I want to grow carefully and not too fast, so we have a very strong foundation. So that's an insane bit of news. We are also in in the final stages of collaboration. Look, I do hope you don't share this video, right? So some of this stuff is not 110% confirmed. So this is like 98% confirmed, but it's basically there. But we're working with an artist, and that artist is actually doing collaborations with massive brands and massive names like Justin Bieber and Hermes and all of these. So this artist, look, I'll tell you on the next video once it's confirmed, all right, when it's 100%. But this artist is absolutely absolutely incredibly talented. They're a very unique type of artist, so not a traditional artist, more, you know, experienced in the, more leaning towards the technical side, the online side, right? And through that, we are partnering with a gallery that represents them, one of the world's most prestigious galleries in the world. And as a result of that collaboration, it is our first step into the physical world at the top, you know. And so we've been balancing and breaking into the market in a very specific way through our logical thinking process, right? To do the right things at the right time in the right way to produce the results that align with our goal. And this is it. This is our step into the future. And where we're heading is we will have showroom experience. We will have physical presence. We will be live everywhere. You will see our name everywhere, associated with the greatest sports and the greatest players in the world, and also at the greatest events. That's where we're going, yeah? And these steps that we're making now are very carefully calculated steps that are very much in line with our goal, our nature, and our path, in a way that mitigates any kind of risk, right? And allows us to get there at the right time. And so that's more or less from that. I'm sure I wrote a bunch of stuff to talk to you about, but you know, to be honest, I think, you know, I'd love to make you another video maybe next month as well, and to give you another update on how things are going. But yeah, look, let me know if you've got any questions. I really appreciate everything, you know, all the support that you've given us, and I can't wait to sit in front of the camera or meet you and explain, you know, what we're doing next, right? And I'm very much excited, and I'm very appreciative of all your support. So thank you so much, and thank you for listening to me talk. And yeah, we'll chat to you soon. Thank you.